Hey, what up, guys? What up? What up, guys? So in this video, I'm gonna be answering a comment. So I had a viewer send me a comment asking some questions. So to make it easier, because I think this requires a video. There's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of answers, I guess, to give back. So instead of just commenting back, I decided to make a video related to this. So that's kind of what I'm going to be discussing in this video, which is ultimately is, he finished some tutorials and how does he get started, pretty much. But guys, before we get started in this video, go ahead and give me a like, guys. Give me a follow me on my other social media platforms, Twitter. Follow me on my other social media platform, guys, as well. Man, appreciate it. And let's get started. So I got a comment on this, came on my live stream. So my live stream, which was 4 days ago. Yeah, 4 days ago. And so let me go ahead and show the comment. So on that live stream, he commented, I have a question. I have no job. How to start? I finished Python, Django, React, HTML, SCSS. Is it better to start by practicing in company? Have a good time. So I'm gonna make some assumptions here. When he says how do I start, I'm assuming he's referring to how to get a job, like how to get started on programming using your skills by making money, right? By getting a job, whether it be through an employer or through a freelancer, but something. Then also where it says I finished Python, again, I'm making assumptions that he just finished some sort of course, right? Udemy course, something. Maybe he took a handful of different YouTube videos related to Python, Django, React, etc. But either way, some kind of course got done. Now that he's done, it's like, how do I get started? How do I get a job, right? How do I start using my skills? Then it says, is it better to start by practicing in a company, right? Now he didn't mention he has no job, so I don't think he means like, hey, I already got a job. Can I just start, learning here or do my own thing? But this is more like, all right, he doesn't have a job right now. He finished some sort of tutorial. So I'm assuming zero experience. So I'm assuming in this case, it's zero experience. Just finished some sort of tutorial. Again, boot camp, Udemy course, something. And what he learned out of this was Python, Django, React. I'm assuming JavaScript. I don't see JavaScript. I see React.js. If you did not learn, you're watching this video, if you did not learn JavaScript, go learn it. Learn JavaScript, guys. Like, I know sometimes we want to jump into these frameworks, but learn JavaScript first and then get familiar with the frameworks. But I'm going to make assumption that he did. So for now, just assume that he did. Then of course, so all of these, everything that he knows here, pretty much web development, put it that way, right? Fall under web development, probably the basics, the back end, basics of front end for the most half, to be able to start, building some sort of web app. And the first question is it better to start practicing in a company? So anytime you're a noob, right, and you have no experience at all, and I'm not talking about like experience from a sense of you have never worked nowhere at a job. I mean from a coding, right? Like you just learned how to code in the last year, but you have never worked in a production environment with a team or nothing. You haven't worked for a company. You have not contributed to any open source projects. You really haven't done nothing, right? Besides follow the tutorials and kind of code on whatever those tutorials taught you, and that's it. That's who I'm talking to here. Finish taking a boot camp, finish taking some kind of online course, but you have no experience. At the most that you have under your belt is probably 6 months to a year of just learning how to code and that's it. It's gonna be tough. I will tell you that right now. It's gonna be tough because I think when it comes to boot camps, there was a trend the last couple of years, but that train I think has passed, man. People are not taking boot camps as serious anymore when it comes to hiring on, right? I'm not saying you can't get a job, because I think you can, but it's going to be tough. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a lot tougher than I think what people think. I do feel, though, the approach would be try to get a job at a company with a small team. And the reason why I say that is because once you start working with the team, you're going to see how these other people work that, let's say, been there for a couple of years, maybe some senior people, senior developers. And you're going to learn a lot from these guys. If you just by observing, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn certain tools that they use, certain methods that they use. You're going to learn, maybe to all of this that what you did was this tutorial, I don't know if the tutorial taught you Git, but if it didn't, you're going to learn that in your first job for sure, because you need version control. You're going to learn Jira perhaps to manage certain issue requests, tickets, and things of that nature. Dude, there's a lot that goes on, like a lot of moving pieces. You may learn microservices, get familiar with cloud, AWS, Azure, DigitalOcean, if you have to deal with that. They may be dealing with different databases. Again, I mean, in this case, there's no mention of databases, but assuming that you didn't learn too much about databases, you're going to get familiar with databases, man, because every app, for the most app, connects to some kind of database. I mean, there's so much that goes along when you start building an app that you get exposure to. You start seeing like, oh man, okay, will this connect with this? You got authentication and authorization, and then you got microservices, and this server's for API only, and this is for authentication, and this is for this, and this is for storage, or storage is being stored in an S3 bucket. So now you're integrating with AWS. Dude, like there's so much that may be going on the application, that by you working somewhere, right, as your first job, when you first learn, like out of a boot camp or tutorial, it's going to help you out a lot. Now the challenge is, how do you get your foot in the door? That's going to be the challenge, guys. It is. And that's the tough piece by all means, right? How do you get your foot in the door? And that's where I think you're going to have to get kind of creative. For people that it's going to be tough, it's going to be hard. I'll tell you that right now. You're going to literally have to apply for probably hundreds and hundreds of applications. It's the reality. But you got to be prepared, man. Get with somebody that knows resumes. They could help you out a lot. Really fine tune your resume to at least the machine, right? The software that they're using to filter through all the resumes, to at least pick yours, to give yours a chance. Somebody that helps you out with the resume, that's what you're going to get out of it. So even if you got to pay them money, man, it's worth it if you're able to get more hits, which means you're able to get some interviews. And a lot of the interviews are just going to be like, nope, never mind. But at least you're getting interviews, and this is where you're going to have to practice and, give them a reason to hire you. Have soft skills, know how to talk to them, be friendly. Don't be all scared and stiff and, like a robot. Be friendly, talk to them, interact with them. Try to have projects, if you can, to show them. And then while you're going through the interview process or, submitting your application, go build something for somebody, man. If somebody has an idea, like a real project to build, go work on it, start building it. So like that, when you do get an interview, you do get a chance, you'll be able to point to them and show them, hey, look at this project. I built this project. I just built it, last week or whatever. And they have something tangible they could see. And deploy that project. You could tell them, hey, here's the URL. Or take a look at it. Here's credentials to log in or whatever. Like, dude, that would help you out, man. That will really help you out. Especially when you're trying to get your first job right? Trying to get in the door with no degree. You're self-taught. Again, it's going to be tough, but it's doable, man. So you got to think outside the box. You got to find ideas. And how I mentioned, that's building a project, getting with somebody that could fine-tune your resume. So again, guys, there's a few approaches. You got the... I do feel, though, that it's very beneficial to work for a company because you could get some mentoring and guidance, and you could observe the other developers. And there's a lot of stuff, without a doubt, that they're doing that you did not learn, you have not learned yet. So that's one of the big pluses that I feel you can get your foot in the door with a company. But that's not your only option. Again, you can do freelance work. You may have to do some jobs for free. You got to do that. That's fine. But that also helps you out because you will get better in your skills. And of course, the third option, which is kind of the more rare option, at least for a newbie anyways. I mean, it's doable, but it's very more on the rare side. But you can, is create your own app and sell it, right? Maybe it's some kind of subscription base. People got to pay $10 a month to use that app or to buy that whatever app you're doing. And that's a way to make money. Now, again, I'm leaving that. That's kind of like the third option towards the end. I'm not saying you can't do it, but if you're a noob and all you have is 6 months under your belt of any kind of programming knowledge, I would not choose that option right now. I would try to find a company that you could get your foot in the door, or freelance, one of those two, right? But in that order. Company first. If not, hey, do freelance. And then even if you're able to get a few projects on freelancing, maybe at least enough to survive, right? And then ultimately trying to get a job with a company. And then without a doubt, dude, your skills are gonna go to the roof. And then once your skills go to the roof, then you could look into building your own application or just do strictly freelance work. Maybe by then you have, you're good at your skills. You have connections and all of that, so it's up to you. But yeah, man, again, make sure your skills are on par, your skills are good. Build projects, but try to build real projects, guys, not these to-do list projects, none of that. If you don't have any ideas, dude, there's always ideas out there, man. Ask somebody will give you their idea. Something, guys, where you work at. Try to look around. Okay, I work at, it's your warehouse employee. Well, what can be done where if I create an app, it could help out in our business? Doesn't mean they're going to use it, and that's fine. But you could still have an idea. At least have something tangible, something real that you could build, right? Then that project, you could actually, again, if you get an interview, show them, and then that potentially could help you out. So hopefully that helps out, guys. I mean, I know it's tough, guys, especially when you're fresh, no experience, you're self-taught. It's going to be hard, man. You got to keep that in mind. But it's doable, man. It is doable, but you got to make sure you're ready, guys. You got to be ready, man. Because it's like you're going to have to apply for hundreds of jobs, and maybe you just get one interview. But you got to make sure that one interview you get, guys, that you kill it. You kill it from your soft skills. You kill it from you're able to show them like a real good key project, so they know you're very interested in the job. Like you do all the right things, and you know your stuff. So when they ask you questions, you know what the hell you're talking about. You want to make sure all of that's nailed down, man. So again, guys, hopefully this helps. Like always, guys, I'm trying to do whatever I can to help y'all out, man. I have a lot of plans with this channel. There's a lot of good things to come. And as my channel grows, I'm going to be hiring some people. So just keep that in mind. As my channel grows, I am going to be hiring some developers as well. So I am going to be hiring people to help out on certain things. But either way, guys, appreciate it like always. And y'all take care. Peace.